Hey everyone, welcome back to another tarot sesh. I thought for this week we could do a what lessons are you working through? What karma are you working through? We are starting with the water signs, Cancer. We're starting with you. So, Cancer, what I'm seeing here is that this is a pretty difficult lesson that you're working through. It's basically one that is trying to point you to be alone, to depend on yourself. Maybe that's like a codependency or something that you need to overcome, that like you constantly need reassurance or you need to feel like someone is with you. Leading or guiding the way, or maybe you don't trust in yourself as much as you need to learn to trust yourself. That could be the lesson, but it just feels like you need to take on a lot all by yourself. Like you need to be on the journey alone. And it doesn't look like it's an easy journey. Like it looks like it's a difficult journey. And maybe that's why you could use some company, and you want like comfort and reassurance and someone to be there, with you, experiencing these things, to hold you, hold space. Maybe someone that can even advise you, guide you. All of these things could be something that you look for and that you seek. But I think the lesson you need to learn is that you are able to provide these things for yourself. You are capable of doing it for yourself and providing these things for yourself. And everything that you look for external to you in other people, you need to learn how to do it yourself, how to provide it for yourself. Because maybe anytime that you give anybody like power, that you trust people, maybe it doesn't end so well, or you always end up alone. Another message I'm seeing here is that you could potentially stay around people that have already tested the waters with you and have already proven to you that they do not have your best interest at heart, that they are emotionally distant, that they will lie to you, that they will betray you, that they will play dirty with you in some way. And maybe you just tolerate it so much, despite having like a problematic history, you stay around these people or you keep giving them chances. And you're supposed to love yourself enough to be able to catch the red flags and to move away from people that are no good for you, that have proven to you that they will play dirty or play with your heart or play in your face. The reason why you let these people stay around you is because that's how much you don't want to be alone or you don't trust in yourself. And that is the lesson that you need to learn. That is a lesson that you need to overcome, is to be able to cut people off, to see the facts of certain situations and move on from those situations. Like you need to be able to rely on yourself. You need to be able to develop certain skills like logic, certain decision-making skills. And you need to be able to like believe in yourself. And this is actually the way forward for you, the best way forward for you. It could also be that you are like very like innocent, so it's easy for you to get trampled on or something. Like people can easily take advantage of you because you're so good-natured. So you have to be careful like not to get trapped in those kinds of situations where you're just taken advantage of, where people try to put you in a weakened position. Again, there's like a skill or something, like you need to assert your own dominance, your own independence. You need to mature in some way that is requiring you to just be able to do it on your own instead of rely on other people to kind of like help you do it. So yeah, the lesson is that you need to see that this is what's meant to be. You're meant to do it on your own. You're not like meant to keep finding people that are going to be strong where you're weak, that you can count on, that you can rely on, people that you look up to, that maybe you feel like, well, they'll have the answers, they'll know more than me. That's the trap. That's what you're trying to overcome. You're trying to be able to like rely on yourself and, see that this is a journey that you need to go on alone. And maybe that's why you've had like these wishy-washy like people that you end up arguing with, or there's competition, or they start playing dirty. I don't know. But that's why. It's because like you're meant to learn this lesson. You're meant to grow this muscle. So that's why all of the people in your life, it hasn't really been like a good fit somehow. And I feel like you have an intuition too about it, but it's like you don't believe in yourself. You don't trust yourself enough. You keep going back and forth, and then you're like, okay, I'll just give them another chance because you're so afraid to do it alone. I just noticed, Cancer, your card is here, the Chariot. It came out. But yeah, maybe it also has to do with like you becoming more discerning, like with who to let into your life, because maybe right now you just let people with bad intentions or that are going to do you wrong in your life, and that's why you have to go through everything you're going through so that you can learn who are the quality people who deserves to be in your life, who deserves a top spot. And also you're not like so codependent on just anyone, on just accepting anyone because like you have some sort of weakness that you're trying to make up for. It's like you're fully whole and complete on your own, so you're not just gonna allow any old body to come in your life, to like take up room in your life, unless it's like healthy and good for you and right. Okay, Cancer, that's your message. I hope this helps. Hey Scorpio, today we are doing messages about what karma are you working through, what lessons are you learning. So Scorpio, I don't know if you saw the last reading I did on what is your blind spot, but it has something to do with that message. Like the messages are very similar. I did recall that reading I did for you. Yeah, I didn't mean to sound harsh in that reading. I know it could have came off like that way. I apologize. I'll be more careful with how I express the message, okay? But I am seeing a similar message for you, Scorpio, so I feel like this is a recurring theme that is coming up for you. So basically, what I'm seeing here is that the energy that you're in is one of like power and dominance, and like maybe you want to conquer, and yeah, like just be in control. Like be the one that's in charge. And so opportunities, when they come to you, maybe you feel like, well, the more the better, like the more I can accumulate, the more I can have, the more I can control, the better for me, like the more power I have or something. And the lesson here that they want you to learn has to do with identifying which of these opportunities are actually ones that are going to be of value. Like not all attention is good attention. Not every opportunity to make money or to be in a position of power is going to be a good one. Like they want you to be able to understand that like you're a limited person, a limited being with a limited amount of energy, and there's no way that you can do it all. Maybe you feel like I can do it all, and the more that I have and the more that I can do, the more powerful I am, and the more, and it's like that kind of mindset. And they want you, that's the lesson and the karma that you're working through, I think, is like needing to protect your energy and to be more selective with the opportunities that come your way, and not be so willing to take any opportunity on. I think they're asking for you to be more open to the opportunities that are going to be more like emotionally stable and sound, and that are going to provide emotional stability and emotional peace and happiness, and like to be able to connect with that, versus seeing like, oh well, I don't care about my emotions, I only care about like the money or the status or the power, or climbing the ladder of the social status, and like my appearance and what I look like, and like those types of things that society tells us is what it means to be successful. Like having that kind of sway and influence over people. And they want you to align to something that is more pure and like, again, peaceful and like of the heart, so it's like learning. Like in the other reading I was saying like, oh, you don't know what value is or something, and it's like because value is associated to like feminine energy, so it's being able to align more to feminine energy. and to see the value of feminine energy instead of trying to just like reduce it and bypass it and like, you know, try to cheapen it. You're not seeing it in its wholeness and its completeness and like the value that it is, so you aren't cherishing it, you know. So it's like being able to do those things, to be, you know, to see feminine energy and to cherish it and to value it, because we do live in a society that is very misogynistic, and it doesn't do that for, you know, like it's very hateful to the divine feminine energy. It tears it down, you know. And so maybe your energy, that's what it does as well to this divine feminine energy. And it's like learning to see the value in this energy. And just to clarify, divine feminine energy talks about love, compassion, empathy, consideration, justice, you know, all of these things that has to do with relationship to others and caring about others and caring about our emotions and other people's emotions and considering everyone's needs. To see this energy as something that is sacred, as something that needs to be protected, defended, you know, not trying to step all over it like everyone in society does, and probably how you were taught to, and that's why you do it. But being able to like have that same like energy that you have towards wanting to dominate and conquer and accumulate. It's like developing that same energy for protecting this divine feminine energy, and to be able to see it, you know, to be able to identify it, to be able to identify value and to align with it and to protect it and move towards it, again, align with it, to see it clearly, okay? Because this is hurting not only you, not only this feminine energy is it hurting, but it's hurting you too. Like it hurts everyone when we have a system that is so imbalanced, and I feel like you're contributing to this imbalance. But it's like, it's, you know, anyone that contributes to this imbalance, it's like they're a victim of it too, you know what I mean? And it's like it has something to do with like, you need to heal your heart, you know. And that's what spirit wants you to do. That's the lesson. They want you to be able to heal, to see things clearly, to see these energies clearly, to see like where excuse me to see where are you placing value and why, and is it what's actually valuable, and what is value to you, and what is sacred and worth protecting, and how are you going to shift your energy and what you go after and how you move and how you show up to honor both of these things, both of these energies, masculine and feminine energies, so that you can move towards what's actually going to be true and what's actually going to be sustaining and nourishing and provide protection and growth and all of these things, you know what I mean? Because it's like, as long as you don't have that outlook, you're going to continue to move in a direction that is hollow, where you're prioritizing those masculine energies of dominance, power, material things over the feminine energy of love, truth, and peace. Hey Pisces, today we are doing messages on what karma are you working through, what lessons are you learning. Let's take a look. So Pisces, for you guys, I'm seeing that maybe you feel like things need to feel really good and happy and celebratory and in alignment, meaning like where everything just feels like it's a party and it's sunshine and rainbows, and you know, you feel like you're floating on cloud nine and so in love, you know, and that's the only way that you'll feel like something is worth it or something is right or something is divine. But the lesson that I see that you could be working through here is that you could be avoiding like hard work. You could be avoiding like really committing to something and going through those hardships and, you know, going on the long, hard journey and making sacrifices and feeling burdened, you know, because certain things in life we have to suffer for or sacrifice. Like we live in a world where suffering is a part of it, you know, like not everything is rainbows and sunshine and butterflies and roses and is meant to like feel good and you're meant to be in bliss 24/7. Like we live in a world where suffering exists and it's part of life, and it's actually through that, through being able to handle that pain and the suffering, that's like when it matters, like if you're able to self-regulate and you're able to like still be in control and in charge of yourself despite, the circumstances. It's like you've created this strong inner self that can get you through the suffering and that can understand the suffering and that knows that, this too shall pass. You know what I mean? And it's like life is suffering. Like some of life is suffering. It's not meant to be rainbows and butterflies, like some things you do have to commit yourself to, no matter the weather. There's going to be sunny days, but there's going to be rainy days too. There's going to be thunderstorms, and you have to show up just the same, even when the weather is not so great. And that's like, it shows discipline and devotion and commitment, and it really like shows integrity and character, and it builds the type of person that you are, like your strength, your inner strength. And not only showing up when it's good or fun or easy, but being able to show up even when it's not those things, because I feel like you avoid anything that's difficult. And Spirit is saying that there are so many things that are wonderful and beautiful, but it takes commitment, and it takes needing to make sacrifices, and it takes going through hardship, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And just because, it has those types of hard energies attached to it, attached to the experience, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. And it doesn't mean that, you need to avoid it, or, like because it doesn't feel like a party and it doesn't feel like fun and open and blissful. Like not everything is meant to feel like that, and you have to see like, what kind of person am I? Am I like a fair weather friend, a fair weather person? I only show up to things when it's easy, or am I someone that is reliable and dependable, and that I'm a committed person and I show up, no matter what, day or night, like rain or shine, like I show up because this is what I'm about, and I'm strong, and this is what makes me a leader. And it's just understanding that not everything is meant to be easy, and not everything is going to be easy. There are going to be hardships. It's just part of life. There are going to be moments where we're suffering and, we're feeling very burdened and we have to make sacrifices. Like that is just part of life. And it's being able to face those parts fully and completely and navigate that, like that's when you can really put your spiritual practices like to use. Like this is like when it matters, when it counts, you know what I mean, is showing up when it's hard and getting through and facing it. And even through the suffering, still being able to see the beauty in it, still being able to find the beauty in it. Knowing that the suffering is not in vain, and being able to be grateful for it all, every experience, and knowing that there's a purpose for everything, and surrendering to that, you know what I mean? Surrendering, accepting these realities about life, and still moving forward and letting these experiences fortify you and strengthen you. And it's not always going to be this way. Maybe for a certain time it's going to be difficult, and that is the correct way, that is the right way, and that is what needs to be experienced. But eventually you will find the fruit of your labor, and the gifts will come. That will come too. And it's just like knowing that everything is transient, and everything is in flux, and just going through the motions, going through what you need to go through, facing everything willingly, strongly, with courage and depth, and believing that you are being led and you are being guided to what is meant for you. Even if it doesn't feel so good, sometimes that is the way. The obstacle is the way. Okay, Pisces, so that's your message. I hope that helps. We've made it to the fire signs for messages about what karma are you working through, what lessons are you learning. Aries, we are starting with you. So Aries, what I'm seeing for you is it's kind of similar to the Pisces reading that I just did. I just finished the water signs, and the last reading I did was for Pisces. But yes, so what I'm seeing for you is that you need to build yourself up in some way. Like you need to become self sufficient, self reliable, like work for the things that you have, for the material things that you have, like the things that you have, the things that you have around you, it's because of your own effort, right? So it's very hardworking energy, very successful energy. So the lesson has to do, the karma you're working through has to do something with that, and like taking away any fantasies that you have surrounding that, like building up your material world and your finances and those things, you know, like your possessions and the things that you have around you. You could have fantasies around it. Like maybe you think like, oh, like it's supposed to be easy, or things are supposed to be handed, or it doesn't take a long time. It doesn't, you know, like whatever it is. It just looks like there are fantasies surrounding it. And I do see that you have gone through hardship though. Like you have gone through difficulties. Things have felt burdensome, you know, and you've gone through like your fair share of heartbreaks and things not going your way, and struggles and turmoil and all of it, you know what I mean? And like feeling like you're at rock bottom. But instead of these experiences kind of like helping you to see like the harsh realities of life, you know, like life is suffering. There is suffering that exists in life. It's not all sunshines and rainbows all the time. I meant sunshine. I think I said sunshines. It's not all sunshine and rainbows all the time, you know? Maybe like you've let it like scare you or harden you, or you have this fear, this inner turmoil that you carry with you because of the things that you've had to go through, instead of realizing like this is just life, this is just the way it goes, this is just how it is. We win some, we lose some. We have to go through our hardships. Sometimes we have to learn the lesson the hard way. Sometimes, you know, it takes a while to heal. You know, but I feel like instead of having those, like accepting those realities, maybe like you constantly feel like you're being unfairly, like you were given an unfair hand, you know, like, oh, why are things so unfair for me, and why don't things work for me, and why do I have to work twice as hard as other people? It's like you carry this turmoil, this inner turmoil, this inner like pain, you know what I mean? Of feeling like bad for yourself, feeling sorry for yourself. And yeah, that's just the lesson that you're learning, is that sometimes, you know, this is part of the path, this is part of the journey, and it's there to teach you things. Sometimes, you know, spirit feels like this is the best way for you to learn certain things, and you have to be able to kind of like move past it, move beyond it, to see the truth about it, to see like, okay, well, I had to go through those things because I had to learn something. Like this was the way that the lesson presented, and this is what I had to go through to build a muscle, to learn something, to become aware of something, to, you know, see the truth, even to break the fantasy. You know, it's not something that you're meant to take with you and carry with you and feel like you're less than, or you're unlucky or something like that, like you're lacking in some way. It's just meant to show you that sometimes in life, this is what it takes. Like these are the things it takes for you to learn what you need to learn, to become who it is that you need to become, to rise up, you know, to the occasion. Like sometimes you have to go through these dark nights. You have to go through lack. You have to go through it so that you can see like what it takes, what it really takes to have it, to be successful. Like, you know, you can break the illusion, the fantasy you had of like, oh, it's easy, or it's given, it's handed, or something. It's like you need to see the reality of it, and that's the karma, you know, is like you need to see that it's difficult, that it's not easy, that it's trying and it tests you, and you have to, you know, like be discerning and protect yourself. Like you can't just be trusting and be very optimistic and spontaneous and impulsive over things even that are not meant for you to be that way. You know what I mean? There are some things in life that, yes, that energy is encouraged, but you need to know like when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate. Like you need to be able to have that discernment and to know like, you know what I mean? Like just to be a very balanced person and to know like when something is appropriate and when something is not appropriate, and not to be so black and white and like, yeah, I'm going to be optimistic because if I just trust, I'm just going to, it's going to fall on my lap and I just have to be positive. And sometimes it's like, no, you need logic too. You know what I mean? And like, you need to make smart decisions and smart choices, and you need to learn the hard way sometimes. You know what I mean? You need to, I just feel like you're learning hard lessons, and it's like because it's surrounding like fantasies that you had. Like you're holding on to fantasies, and they want to break these fantasies. They want you to see the truth, to see the reality, and so that you can be more balanced in the way that you act and approach things and perceive things even. And they don't want you to be hardened by your hard experiences. They want you to be able to see like, this is what I needed. I needed that to learn, to see the truth, you know? So yeah, Aries, those could be things that you're working through now. I hope this message helped. Hey Leo, today we're doing messages about what karma are you working through? What lessons could you be learning right now? So, Leo, I feel like we get this message a lot for you. I feel like it's come up for you in other readings that we've done. But basically, Leo, what you're learning is that you are constantly becoming a new version of yourself. Like you're constantly growing and changing and shifting and transforming. And you're not fixed, you're not just one thing always and forever. And neither is anyone else for that matter. Like you go through your phases and you are who you need to be then. And then when you know better, when you learn more, when you gain more experience, then you grow and you evolve and you change. And, it's like, better, you do better. You know what I mean? And it's like kind of just loving yourself in all your phases and understanding like who you were in that phase and why you were the way that you were during that phase, and accepting it and giving grace to that version of you. And knowing that like we're meant to grow and shift and change, and that's okay, and that's part of life. And I don't know, I just feel like maybe you identify too much with like a specific version of you, or you can be ashamed even sometimes of like, oh, I can't believe I did that, or I believed in that, or I showed up in that way, or you stay fixed on a certain like version of you or something, where it's like, oh, if I was that way once, then that's who I'm going to be forever, or something like that. I'm hearing like once a quitter, always a quitter, or like once a cheater, always a cheater, like stuff like that, where it's like it's so fixed, and it's like it's not giving anybody the room or the opportunity to grow and to change and to become better, to become wiser. It's like you don't give yourself that room or that space to know like, I can become better, I can become wiser, I can gain wisdom, through time. That's what helps me to gain wisdom and to know more, is time and experience and age, and you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just kind of like you could be like learning lessons surrounding that you're not a finished product, that you're learning, you're growing, you're meant to, you're not just like this fixed person, like, oh, like I'm this, I want to be seen in this light, this is who I want to be always and forever. And if you fall short of that, it's like, oh, that's just not who I am ever, I can never be that, or I can't work up to that, I can't work those skills, I can't ever, you know what I mean? It's like knowing that you have the potential to shift and to move, and that you're in control, and that things change. Change is the only constant, and things aren't meant to just be the same always and forever. And yeah, like sometimes you could be lacking, you could feel lacking, you could feel alone, you could have bad self-esteem. Sometimes that's a real reality and that's where you're at, or like you feel like you're not good enough or something. But that doesn't mean that that's going to be the reality forever. Okay? Like, you can grow. This can be fixed. You don't have to feel this way about yourself forever, even if this is just like how you feel about yourself right now. Maybe you're like, oh, I used to feel so confident. I was, so popular, or I had so much friends, and now I don't have any of that. And now I'm nothing. And now no one cares about me. And now like no one checks for me or something like that. And it's like thinking that the best has passed, or that you missed the boat, or that you're always going to be what you are. And it's just basically understanding that you have more power than that. You have more say, more control. Things are always shifting and moving. You always can change. Like, you can literally change, like, from night and day. Like, your entire self you can change. It's possible. And most of us do change just naturally, throughout the course of our lives. Like, we're always different versions of ourselves, and that's normal and that's okay. And it's to be expected. And it's kind of just like accepting all the versions of yourself and accepting all your phases, and just finding peace and happiness in each one, and not feeling less than, or incapable, or low self-esteem or something, because something isn't fixed. You know what I mean? Like, it's like something about that. It's like things shift, things move. You have to be flexible. It's like a matter of like being flexible, and like that's what it means to be whole and complete. It's like we have different sides of ourselves. We're multifaceted. We're not meant to just be like this one-dimensional fixed thing always and forever. So it's something along those lines. It's like you're stuck on something. You stay stuck on something. It's like, oh no, I always have to be winning. I always have to be a winner. I always have to be strong. And like, it's like if you get caught slipping, or you're in a part of your life where you're going through something difficult, or it's more like like a losing part of your life. It's like, I don't know, you feel like, oh, I lost my streak or something like that. But it's like life is like that. Like, we have ups and we have downs, and you just have to accept all your phases. Sometimes you're the star of the show, center of attention, sometimes not so much, and that's okay, and that's normal. That doesn't define anything about you. And to just be able to move through life and ride the waves, and go through all of it with acceptance, and knowing that with each experience you're learning and you're growing and you're becoming wiser and you're becoming better each time. It's through those ups and those downs that really makes you a diamond. It like cultivates a diamond. So instead of looking at it in a bad light, like you're being defeated or something, it's actually those things that you go through. The journey is like what's cultivating you and what's making you the best version of you yet. Okay, you're not a finished product, you're on a journey. So just like accept it and love it. Okay, Leo, that's your message. Hey Sagittarius, today we are doing messages on what karma could you be working through, what lessons could you be learning. So Sagittarius, what I'm seeing for you is that you could be learning lessons about self-worth. I feel like you rely on material things to like give you a sense of value. Maybe you rely on approval, validation, on, like your house or your belongings, your clothes, your bank account, like your resources, these things. Like, you allow these things to dictate your worth and your value. And it's like you could be fronting, like you could be putting on a show or putting on a facade of like, yeah, like I'm so confident, and I know my value and I know what I'm worth and all of these things. But it's like deep down inside, you do carry a lot of anxiety about your self-worth, and you do think that you're incapable in some way, or you have some type of low self-esteem, or you feel like you are helpless. I don't know. It's like you put on a persona of confidence and of self-esteem, but internally that's not the truth about how you're feeling. It's like you actually feel very low about yourself, and like, so the lesson you need to learn here is to build actual true confidence. And I think that has to do with like your spirit, your energy, your inner fire, and like, what motivates you, what drives you. Who are you? Like, what are you attracted to? What do you show up for? Your actions, like what you're really about, like your strength, your character, instead of relying on material things to, you know, dictate again, like the like value, like, oh, well, I'm valuable because I have a lot of money, because look at the clothes I'm wearing, because look at the house I have, like that's not what makes you valuable. Like the things that you have, the trappings around you, the luxuries, like that's not what makes somebody valuable. Is like your belongings and stuff like that. Like what makes you valuable is your inner, it comes from inside of you. It's like your spirit, you know what I mean? Your fire. Again, the things that drive you and motivate you. So it's like becoming more connected and in tune to those things, and really cultivating those things, cultivating like integrity and character, that is really going to help you feel confident for real, instead of like this front of confidence that you put on. It's like a facade, it's an illusion, it's not real. And you have to be able to see like life is not supposed to be like that. Like you're not supposed to just put on a show, put on a front, and that's enough. And it's like, oh well, it's a really good front, like, but inside you feel horrible, like you feel defeated, and you feel like, you're just putting on a show, putting on a persona, and that's not really who you are. And if people knew who you really were, they wouldn't like you. And like, like being so stuck to this low self-esteem, you have to be able to actually get to the core of the issue and work on it, and cultivate true self-esteem, and you do that by connecting to your emotions, by being more in alignment with your values, to your virtues, and being moral, and like knowing that you're a good person. And when you can connect to those things, that's what develops true self-esteem. Like if you want good self-esteem, you have to do esteemable things. You know what I mean? You have to actually be a good person. You can't like just be a good person when it's works for you, or when there's something to gain, or when people are looking, but then behind the scenes, you are someone different. Or if you're able to get away with certain things, you would, it's like that's what's causing bad self-esteem. It's like you're not in alignment internally on the inside with the things that make you feel like at peace, and make you feel it's like an internal misalignment, imbalance, like an emotional imbalance. You have to learn how to feel like emotionally stable and peaceful, and to be in touch with your emotions, and so that you can see like what is valuable for you, so that you can be more in alignment to those things, because then that's going to help you feel more inner peace. I feel like your inner world is all messed up. It's like the way that you perceive yourself, the way you view yourself. You have low self-esteem, and it's because you don't connect to your emotions and to what's important to you, and like living a life that is in alignment with the things that are going to make you feel at peace. When there's a disconnect, of course you're gonna like, you have this inner turmoil about like who you really are, and if people only really knew who you really are, and what you really engage in, and what you do in the dark, then like no one would like you, and like you have to keep up this facade and keep up this front. It's like, just be the real thing, cultivate it, come online, get in touch with your emotions, get in alignment, and be the real thing, and that will solve everything. You know what I mean? So yeah, know that it's possible, that you can do this. You can come into alignment, you can make amends, you can bring balance, you can bridge the gap, you can do it. You just have to connect to your emotions, identify your emotions. Where is the anxiety coming from? Where is like the self-defeating energy coming from? How can you regulate it? How can you neutralize it? How can you help yourself feel better? Bring balance to the situation, feel better about yourself, know that you're doing the right thing, like connect closer to who you really are, connect to your true purpose, to your truth. Just get into alignment with the real you. Okay, and that will solve all of this self-esteem stuff that you have going on. All right, Sagittarius. So this could be what you're working through. This is the karma you're working through, the lessons. Okay, hope this helps. We made it to the earth signs for what karma are you working through? What lessons could you be learning? Let's find out. Let's take a look. So Virgo, we are starting with you. What I'm seeing for you guys is this has to do with the way that you want to move in the world, like the direction you want to take, the things you want to plan for, the things you want to conquer, the places you want to go, the plans you're making to move ahead, to travel. And yeah, like it has to do with you feeling really motivated to want to continue expanding and, leave your mark. You feel really motivated by this. You feel like you want to start a lot of new projects or, learn about a lot of different things. Like there's just a lot you want to do, a lot you want to accomplish, a lot you want to cover, right? But there's something about you not having clarity surrounding it, because it's like you approach it with too much logic. You know what I mean? And I feel like we get a similar message for you, Virgo, where it's like you're lacking heart, you're missing emotion. You have to become clear about what is it that's driving you? What is it that you're trying to achieve, that you're trying to accomplish? Because I feel like something here is distorted, something here is confused. And I feel like this distortion, this confusion is what is predominantly running the show in some way. And it's like you think that it's your happiness, and that's why, you're making plans and this is the direction you want to go in. But something about it is imbalanced. And I feel like it always comes back to like the emotional component is missing, the heart is missing. Like you could be making decisions from a place, again, that's very logical, and it's like you don't know yourself, you don't know what's inside of yourself, like you haven't really dominated or conquered your inner world. You know what I mean? And so it's like you have to be able to master that part, to regulate yourself emotionally, to know yourself emotionally, to know like, where are your shortcomings, to, be very aware of your flaws, of the human condition. Because a way that you're moving, a way that you're, making decisions, again, I just feel like it's imbalanced, and it's like you're moving further away from your true authenticity. And again, it's because it's like you're not connecting to your inner world, to your internal landscape, to what's going on in there. Like there's still work that needs to go on in there in order for you to be able to make decisions from a place that is going to have more clarity and be more in alignment with you and with your authenticity and with your truth, because it's like as long as that part is missing, there's always going to be some kind of disconnect. So yeah, Virgo, there could be like a sensitivity chip missing, like maybe you're not that compassionate towards yourself, towards other. I don't know, there's just something here that I feel is disconnected. And so the way that you perceive like your happiness and what your happiness looks like there's something that's distorted, something that needs to be unearthed about what you think your like, true fulfillment looks like, or your happily ever after. It's like it's not what it what you think it is or something like that. But I feel like you're not going to become aware of this. Like, this is showing me that time is going to pass, and like experiences and things are going to have to unfold and happen in order for you to really see the truth about this. And it's like for you to see the truth about yourself. It's like eventually you're going to be able to see exactly what it is, to spot the problem and to see where it was that you were emotionally distant or emotionally disconnected, or where it was that you were lacking compassion or lacking like the understanding of human emotions and the human condition, and holding space for that, having compassion for that, knowing how to regulate that, knowing how to navigate your internal world and how to hold it and how to like contain it, and like I said, regulate it, how to keep yourself balanced out in that way, because something here in that department I see is lacking, and it's not causing you to make, like, I feel like sound decisions. You're moving from a place that's very logical, and because it's not considering everything, you know what I mean? Like, you're bypassing emotions. That's why it's not balanced. It's not like whole, it's not complete. Like, there's something missing. So when there's like a missing piece to the puzzle, it's not whole, it's not complete. So it's like, of course it's going to be a little bit discombobulated. And so that's what I'm seeing now. And I just feel like you're moving in a direction maybe that isn't the best, or you're building something that isn't the best, but it's like, that's the karma. I feel like you have to go this way. Like, you have to live your life in a particular way, taking a particular approach. But unfortunately, it's like not until maybe like something has been built up, or you've committed to something, like you're deep in it, that something is going to become clear to you, that you're going to get clarity. And the clarity is going to do with yourself, like something to do with you, with yourself. It's going to shine a light on you, something that exists within you, and all of the ways that you could have been blocking yourself from being like your truest, most authentic self. And again, it feels like it's because there's an emotional aspect that's missing. So maybe there's not like a lot of like compassion and generosity, or like inclusivity or protection, or like being a role model of some kind, providing like good advice. Like, maybe that's what it is. It's like you need to learn the difference between having authority and being a true leader. Okay? Like, you need to learn how to be a true leader. Someone that's warm and loving and compassionate and understanding, and protective, and is a good role model and is honest, over someone that just has like a high position, power, someone that built something, that has like some kind of like control because they have some kind of education or knowledge or expertise that they've built up. And I don't know, it's something along those lines, Virgo. That is the lesson you're working through, is the karma. Okay, I hope this helps. Hey Taurus, this is your reading about what karma could you be working through right now. What lessons could you be learning? You were supposed to be first. For some reason, I started with Virgo. But yes, here we are doing your sign now, Taurus. So Taurus, I'm seeing for you guys that you guys could just be super like smart people, and I just feel like your thoughts go like a million miles a minute, and you're just constantly like working things out in your mind and thinking a lot. Maybe you could be someone that loves to like intake information, like read or learn by reading articles, or just like you're always taking in knowledge, taking in information. And so it could make your mind just move like really quickly, and maybe you're just really overwhelmed mentally, like there's like mental overload happening. And so because of that, I feel like you make decisions hastily. Like, you could make decisions just very like on a whim, or just like really quickly. Like, you don't really think about things, or like sit on it for days. It's like you're just like, oh, I read about that somewhere. And, then you just like make a really quick judgment or decision or something. And then you move into something just really quickly without, again, like really taking the time to see how you feel about it, or to maybe take your time to gather more information, to study it, to learn it. I just feel like you move really quickly onto things. And it's like in a superficial way. It's like you look at something and then you could decide really quickly about it that, yes, like you want to invest in this thing, or you want to invite this thing in your life or something. And again, it could just be very superficial. Like it's on a surface level. It's not really like depth. Like it doesn't really have a lot of depth. Like maybe it's like, oh, we have good conversation, it's fun, like we make each other laugh, we like each other's jokes. Like you could just like base it off of something like that, that it's like it's very superficial. Like you guys gossip together or joke together, you guys have the same kind of sense of humor or something like that, and then you take it as like, oh, okay, this is a good fit or something. It's like you move too quickly. Maybe you also like people that are like you, like they process things mentally really quickly, or like it seems like very intelligent energy. So maybe you're attracted to that kind of like intelligent energy and that kind of like mental stimulation, and like people that are witty and clever and have quick comebacks, and like you guys can have really good conversation and communication, and then you mistake that. Like there's something about that you are attracted to, and then like you mistake it for like compatibility or something. But it's actually like what ends up making, like making way for this other kind of energy, where it is like a very like one-upping each other, or like bickering, competition, where it does create like some kind of like annoyance once you get past that initial like attraction of like, oh, we're super compatible, I like this, and it turns into like that more negative expression where there's like conflict, and you could align yourself to these types of people, thinking like that this is, like this is what you like or something, or this is what's going to be long term stable in your life. But then it proves to be otherwise. Like it proves to be like hollow and empty, and like you were mistaken. Like it doesn't express itself in the way that you thought it was going to express itself in the long run, like in the long term. Like whatever you thought this was going to evolve into, in the long term it like evolves into something completely different. And you actually end up in situations that you feel like trapped in. Like it's like that same energy that attracted you, that like clever, conversational, mental stimulating energy. It's like then that same energy can trap you. It can like really put you in a bind, in a mental bind, and make you feel helpless and like a victim. And yeah, it's like something along these lines. So it's because you're not really connecting with people like on an emotional level, where you're getting to know them from, again, like from an emotional level. Like you're getting to know what they're about, who they are, what's their temperament, like like what are they like emotionally, like how sensitive are they, like what makes them tick, what is their personality like, what do they like, what are their values. It's like you don't go to that level, that depth. And so that's where I feel things could get really distorted, because it's like you don't ever go there to like know somebody fully and truly, and like what's inside. It always just stays like on a surface level, like conversational level. And then yeah, I just feel like it doesn't go anywhere good. Like Maybe you're just not aligning with like your true like soul family, or the true people that are going to provide some kind of nourishment and support and like reciprocal relationship love. It's like you're not in alignment with those kinds of people. You know what I mean? I feel like you're craving that, like you crave that, like you want to align with those kinds of people. But what makes you attracted to people, that like this is the lesson you're learning, is like you have to see like what is attracting you to people. And like you're aligning with the wrong people, because it's like blowing up the relationships that you're actually meant to like be around and have. And you know, the ones that are going to feel like really good emotionally and stable, and like the ones that are going to last the test of time, it's like you sabotage those in some way because you're choosing this like clever mental stimulation over like emotional safety and like compatibility and love, and like hearing out what each other's needs are, and like core values. And you know what I mean? It's something along those lines, Taurus, is the lesson you're learning, is the karma you're working through. I hope this helps. Hey Capricorn, today we're doing messages about what karma could you be working through right now? What lesson could you be learning? So, Capricorn, I'm seeing that this has to do with relationships, marriages, the dynamic between masculine and feminine energies, and how these coexist together, how they work together, the balance between those energies. Okay, so I'm seeing here that there's something that you were raised with, a belief, a certain tradition. It could be religion, just something like a core value that was instilled in you, having to do with like marriage or relationships, partnerships. And I feel like it was instilled by the mother. Okay, like you were highly influenced by like the feminine energy in your life, whoever raised you, that played this role for you, that nurturing energy. So however it was that you were like role modeled from the feminine energy of relationships, or like, you know, the decisions that the feminine energy made, or the role, the position that the feminine energy plays, or how it's supposed to go, how it's supposed to work, what it looks like. Yeah, I just feel like you're very highly influenced by this experience in your life, like something to do with childhood, how you grew up, how you were raised, what was instilled, the traditions, the beliefs. It really, really affected you. So in the way that it affected you, I'm seeing is that you, like, I feel like you've had to undergo a lot of difficulty in this department as it pertains to choosing a partner or accepting a suitable partner, or like what does that look like? What does a strong partner look like? You know what I mean? Because I feel like you've had a lot of difficult like situations, or if it's felt very burdensome, very heavy. I just feel like you don't know how to choose like a good partner, a partner that is going to be strong and protective, and is going to stand for the right things, and is going to be someone that is responsible, and you know, just really embodies those masculine qualities, you know, the healthy masculine qualities. It's like you don't know how to spot that. You don't accept, you know, like maybe you mistaken those qualities for like looking like something else, like looking like power, control, dominance. Like maybe you're the type of person that if someone is like really jealous, or like they want to have control over you, or overprotective when it comes to you, or just something like that, it's like you consider those things loving, you know, and protective. But really that isn't what love is. You know what I mean? Like that, those aren't, like, that's not a good representation of someone that is loving, is someone that is just like controlling and wants to hold on tight to you. And it's like, you're like, oh, he loves me so much, or something like that. Or if you're the masculine in this dynamic, maybe this is how you love. It's like you feel like you want to have a certain kind of dominance or control, or you want to have power, or you feel like, you know, you're the one that calls the shots, or something like that, because it's like, oh, the feminine is supposed to follow the masculine, like the masculine is supposed to lead, but it's like you don't know how to do it in a way that's healthy and positive and loving and like protective and honest and true, you know? So there's like a lack here, I feel, particularly when it comes to the masculine energy. So it's like either you don't know how to choose good masculines in your life, you've never had good masculine energy in your life, or like you yourself, your masculine side is not, it needs to be cultivated. Like it needs to be cultivated in a way that's going to be healthy. So yeah, you could be learning about love and relationships, and I just feel like this is coming, like it stems from how you were raised, how you were brought up, what the norm was, you know? And it's like you have to break free from it because it's harmful in some way, you know? It reminds me like when I was growing up, like the narrative that was around women and like the role of women, it was like, oh, like they're just meant to be attractive and you know, like good bodies, and can they cook, they're gonna have your kids, they're gonna clean your house. It's like it's very exploitative. Like it doesn't consider the woman as a full person, like as a whole person. Like I'm not just, you know, a baby making machine, I'm not just your eye candy, I'm not just your entertainment, you know? And it really put women like in that space where they felt like they had to compete with each other, you know, because they were really looking for that masculine validation. And so they wanted to be like the best, and they wanted to be the one that got the attention and the one that was chosen, the one that was picked. But it was in a way that was very like, again, like it was unhealthy. And then, you know, you think that you got like a strong guy, a strong partner, but you don't really know what that is or what that looks like, because whatever was role model to you, whatever you thought that that looked like, that's not what it was. So whether like you're the masculine or the feminine energy, it's like something about this dynamic needs to be like examined, because I feel like it's brought a lot of burdens. You know, there are things that you have not been able to see clearly, and this has affected your life. Like these beliefs and these structures has affected your life, particularly like your love life, the people you choose to partner with. You know, I feel like maybe it has been really frivolous, where it has just been like, oh, like I'm attracted to you. I feel like the karma is to be able to spot this real masculine energy instead of these energies that continuously fall short, that are immature, that, you know, are lacking in some way, that are like emotionally checked out or defensive, cold, you know, like childish. It's like, that's, you know, it's like you feel like if that's a man, or that's what being a man is, or something, there's just something here that's distorted about the perception here of like feminine energies and masculine energies, and the way that these energies express in a way that is whole and healthy, and how these energies can work together and should be working together when it comes to like partnership, and what it is that you accept, and what it is that you think is okay and normal, and what you think your role is. And, you know, if you're a feminine energy, you could like even put yourself down, thinking like that your role is like insignificant or something. Like you don't see your own value, you don't see your own worth. It's like you're trapped by this. It could be even misogyny, you know, like this misogynistic perspective, you know what I mean? So it's being able to see the value of the feminine energy, and being able to protect it and honor it, and to have a healthy masculine energy too. To know how to express that, how to be whole and complete within yourself, but also to choose good partners that are going to allow a healthy dynamic to occur. Okay, Capricorn, that's what I'm getting. I hope this helps. We made it to the air signs for what karma are you working through? What lessons could you be learning? Gemini, we are starting with you. So Gemini, I'm seeing that this has to do with like your bad habits, you know, addictions, bad alliances, like your harmful like behaviors, any codependency that exists, you know, and this has to do with what happened to you in your upbringing, what happened, like the partnership that you came out of is what I'm seeing here. It's like the marriage that your parents had, the relationship that they had, or the energy, whatever the energy was in the home that you grew up in. Like, I feel like this stems from that place, from that environment, and there's a lot of pain and hurt that existed there. It could have been like a very toxic environment. You could have experienced a lot of trauma, and you're carrying that, you're holding on to that, and it like, and for you to cope through that, you created bad habits, again, bad alliances, bad behaviors, things that you are addicted to, codependencies, just things that keep you low and bound to like bad things, things that are harmful, things that keep you stuck in that place, you know? And yeah, so I feel like this is the karma you're working through. I feel like you need to be able to see it. You need to be able to see where it stems from, where this comes from. You need to be able to see it from a higher perspective, from a higher light, to make sense out of it, to understand it, like to develop the right language around what it is that happened to you and how it affected you, how it impacted the quality of your life, you know, your personality, your the way you perceive the world, just how it affected you so deeply, you know what I mean? Because I feel like maybe you're someone that you have anxiety, you're someone that you could struggle to sleep at night, or you could struggle to feel safe. You're waiting like for the other shoe to drop. You're waiting for something bad to happen, and it's because like you're still carrying and holding on to all of the bad things that happened in your childhood, and I feel like you're still traumatized, and like it still affects you in some way, and maybe you just don't know how to effectively move past it, you know, how to heal from it and how to transform that. It still has a hold on you in a way that is negative and unhealthy. And so that's the karma. And maybe you could be someone that's very impulsive, you know? So yeah, like these are just all like the different ways that your upbringing, or the relationship your parents had, or the relationships around you when you were little, when you were growing up, the relationships of the people like in, like, you know, wherever you were raised. Like, I just feel like those relationships were toxic, they were bad, they influenced you, they affected you, you have anxiety over it, you could have trouble sleeping, you could have trouble feeling safe, you could always be waiting for like the, you know, like something bad to happen, for something to blow up, you know. It could make you very impulsive too. I'm thinking bipolar. I think it's a personality disorder, right? So yeah, it's like it affected you psychologically, and I feel like you need to be able to put like language. You need to be able to express it, to explain it, to understand it, to have language to be able to do this. You know what I mean? So that you can overcome it, because you can't heal what you can't see. So you first have to like know what happened, the ins and the outs, and why, the causes, go to the core, you know. And maybe you're going to need help to do that, like a professional or something, to help you really give you the right language, the right words, to help you see it clearly and properly, what happened and how it impacted you, how it affected you, so that then you can have like a path of healing, you know, so that you can know what to do to break free from whatever is holding you back and keeping you small and keeping you stagnant and stuck, you know, in this hurt and this pain, whatever addictions or coping patterns, coping mechanisms that you developed that are harmful and keeping you stuck like in a harmful pattern. You need to be able to like get yourself out of it. But first you have to see like what put it there in the first place, you know, and you know, so that then you can see how to effectively move forward from it and heal from it and leave it in the past. It's like you need some kind of epiphany, some kind of knowledge. You need to be able to get the truth about it. surrounding a situation like this. So Gemini, that's what I'm seeing for you. I hope this helps. Hey Libra, we are doing messages about what karma you could be working through, what lesson could you be learning. So I feel like you're learning a difficult lesson, and it has to do with people. I feel like you've probably had difficult relationships, and I'm seeing like all kinds of difficult relationships, like difficult romantic relationships, difficult familial relationships, even relationships like in the work environment, at school, amongst friends. Like, I just feel like maybe, you're a very like loving person, a sensitive person, caring, and you've just been let down. I just feel like in life you've been let down, and maybe you've committed yourself to people that have been committed to letting you down, to not being their best selves with you. You know what I mean? And I feel like the reason why that has happened is because the karma you're working out is that you have to see the truth about people and people's like intentions and motivations and behaviors, and like what kind of people people can be, and it has nothing to do with you. Like, you have to know that it's not the way that people have treated you in the past has nothing to do with you. It's a reflection of themselves and their upbringings and, their subconscious, their psychology, their triggers. Like, everybody is like, they have a whole universe inside themselves, a whole world, a whole like myriad of reasons of why they are how they are and why they behave how they behave. They have their own triggers and traumas and things. So it's not about like taking anything personal and being like, oh, like people treating me bad, it has something to do with me. It's not that at all. It's just, I feel like, you had to learn the hard way maybe that people do have a dark side, and that people can be cruel, and sometimes I feel like they can't even control it. Like, some of these behaviors that you've witnessed people have, it is stuff that they can't even control themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hidden, it's so obscured. And so you being the kind of person you are, that you're, maybe you like relationship, you like to be in relationship and reciprocation and being in union, but it's just been difficult. I feel like it's been difficult because you've had to confront like the dark side of people, but it's so that you can be aware that it's there. You know what I mean? So that it's like, so that it can shine a light that it exists, so that you can build discernment around who to commit yourself to, who to devote yourself to, who to be reliable for, because maybe you've done this, you've been seeking, I feel like because you've been seeking it, like you've wanted that kind of relationship back, like you wanted that kind of reciprocal relationship. So you thought that maybe by you giving that energy, that it meant that it would be given back to you. But it's like you had to learn the hard way that that's not the case, that it doesn't guarantee that someone is going to do the same for you, or like, be reciprocal with you, or show up in the same energy that you showed up in. And so it's a matter of like you having discernment around who are the people that you should show up for in that way, that are going to be emotionally available and accountable, and that are going to be able to offer you something that is balanced and something that is reciprocal, versus those that aren't and that can't. They simply, like, literally, I feel like they can't. They don't have the tools. They don't know how. They're blocked in some way. And being able to know that that has nothing to do with you. Being able, so that's what your karma is, Libra. I feel like it has to do with relationships, knowing that the way people treat you is not a reflection of you at all. It's them. That's their own stuff that they have to deal with, that they have to work through. You have to know that not everyone is, like, loving and reliable, and you have to stop seeking that from just anyone, like seeking that kind of relationship from just anyone, because not just anyone can give it. And I feel like maybe you thought that giving yourself in certain ways meant that it would be guaranteed you know, where someone would meet you there, but now you're seeing the truth that that's not the case, and why you do have to be discerning, and why you do have to be protective with your energy, and why you do need to see people's true colors and what they're capable of, and you know, so that you can move towards those people that are going to be good for you and healing, and are going to be reciprocal and provide that safe space where you can have a relationship that you can be fully seen in and supported, and where your needs are met and all of it. You know, like, just don't go into it like so openly and optimistically and blindly, and like give yourself to these people, you know, to people that are just not going to be able to meet you there. So yeah, it's about discernment and seeing the truth and seeing what's possible, and you know, having that information, having that knowledge, so that you can move accordingly and with discernment. You know, it's like seeing the truth, unearthing something here in regards to relationships and those dynamics, and how to have a healthy one, what that looks like, okay, on your side and on their side. So that is your message. I hope this helps. Hey Aquarius, we are doing messages about what karma are you working through? What lessons could you be learning at this time? So what I'm seeing for you guys is, I feel like this is something that like you hold, like it's like a belief you have about yourself that you hold really deep down, like inside of yourself. You know what I mean? It's like a seed that has been like reinforced, and like that has grown inside of you, but it's like a negative seed. And I feel like it's one where you feel like incapable, like you feel like you don't have what it takes to be like someone that is successful and solid and stable, and that has things to offer, you know, that has, you know, that can provide things, a provider, someone, again, that's like a constant in someone's life. Like maybe you feel like you don't have it, like you don't have what it takes to, you know, for example, to be a spouse, or, you know, to like have certain responsibilities, like be a homeowner, for example, and keep up with those responsibilities and maintain that and uphold that, how to be like a head of household, how to care for dependents, how to be there for them and provide for them emotionally as well as financially. It's like you don't think that you can do this. It's like you think that this is a long shot, that this is a dream, that this is something that you can't ever accomplish. But it's like, I feel like it's your greatest wish, like it's what you want to do, but it's like there's something inside of you that tells you that you can't do it, that you don't have what it takes, that, you know, you fall short. Maybe you have fallen short on multiple occasions, and so again it like continues to reinforce that belief, like, see, I knew it. It's like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that you have, that you feel like you lack whatever it is, like you lack the motivation or the fire, the energy, the endurance, like you lack something that is going to help you to show up in a way that is stable and solid. And like you don't have it, like it's a fantasy, like it's just a dream. You know what I mean? Like it's a long shot is what I'm seeing. But I feel like you need to, like, the karma you're working through is like needing to set yourself free, you know, like unearth, like, why do you have this belief? Why do you think that you can't do it? Or why is it that you have fallen short in your past? And to really try to, you know, find like a starting point for yourself, like identify like what, like, okay, that didn't work out, you know, what happened here? Like, what did I do? How did I show up? What were my actions? What were my beliefs? What were my motivations? Like, where did I go wrong? Or what is it that I need to see? What is misaligned? What is it that I need to work on? You know what I mean? Like, you need to find a starting point and then just go from there, because we're all capable of building ourselves up and on getting better and on overcoming any hurdles, any obstacles that is in our way, any hurdles and any obstacles that you have, like that is what you need to focus on, because that is the thing that you need to overcome. That's why it's a hurdle. That's why it's an obstacle, because you need to be able to master it, to overcome it. And it's not going to be easy. Like, I feel like it is going to be a long and hard journey. It's going to feel very burdensome, but it's because it's for that reason. It's because, like, you know, your soul doesn't have experience building up this skill. And so it's going to take time, like anything else. Like, it's going to take hard work and commitment and dedication. But yeah, it's just like shifting your mindset, because it's like you're so set on, yeah, well, I can't do that. I haven't ever done it. That's just not the kind of person I am. It's like you have like a self-defeating kind of mindset, and you have to set yourself free. Like, you have to change your mind. You have to know that other things are possible, that you can be successful, that you can work at it. You know, that's why it feels hard, because it's something that you have to cultivate, that it's a muscle you have to strengthen. And that's the point, you know, you're learning it, you're mastering it, and it's just a matter of like committing yourself to it and seeing it through and staying on the journey, staying on the path. And, you know, not like being so hard on yourself and cutting yourself off and just deeming yourself as like, well, this is just what it is, like, this is just, you know, like where it ends. And it's just like, no, that's not where it ends. That's where you've decided it's gonna end. You know what I mean? Like, give yourself a chance to prove it to yourself, you know, that you can work at it, you can build yourself up, you can cultivate yourself, you can overcome. You're not a victim. You are not a victim. You are not helpless. And let the grief, let the sadness be what moves you, be what motivates you. Like, you know what, I don't like this. This doesn't feel good. You know, what can I do to change this? And move in that direction. Whatever pain, whatever trauma this brings up for you, this brings out, this shines a light on, this unearths, like, that's where it is that you need to do work on. That's what it is that you need to heal. That's what it is that you need to, you know, again, like I said, work on. And it can change. Like, it doesn't have to just be this forever. It doesn't have to just stay that way. Like, you can commit yourself, dedicate yourself, bring balance, bring healing, work on it. And over time, it's going to change. It's going to transform. It's going to become a strength. You know, you will be able to overcome it. And it won't be like this super difficult, hard thing that you feel like helpless to. Like, you're not helpless. You're powerful, and you have to see your strength. You have to see that you're capable, and the obstacle is the way. Like, wherever is directing you, wherever it's guiding you, that's where you have to go. That's what you have to work on. It's going to take time. You have to be patient, but you can do it. You can do it. The same way that you think like, no, this is just not who I am. I'm not cut out for this. Like, the same energy you're giving to that belief, it keeps giving you like those self-fulfilling prophecies where you just keep like self-sabotaging yourself and proving yourself like, see, I knew it, like, I already knew. It's like, use that energy to be like, nope, I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna make a difference. I'm going to transform this. I'm going to move the needle. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna, you know, you're gonna go through an alchemical change, and you're going to overcome, and you're going to be better. You just have to commit yourself to the journey. I feel like you have to commit yourself to like healing the things that broke your heart, any traumas, wounds, like sadness, pain that you carry. Like, that's where you have to go. You know what I mean? It's not comfortable. It never is, but it makes all the difference, you know? And you will see that you can overcome, and things can shift, things can change, and you can become that person that is solid, is stable, that is a provider, that is a nurturer, a caretaker, that is responsible. You can do it. Okay? But you have to start somewhere. All right? That's the karma you're working through. That's the message. I hope this helps.